friends, this is Vicki with Gramma Vicki Crafts, and today we're going to make this pretty parcel out of some tinsel, some ribbon, and a few little decorations and some little lights. So follow me now and I'll show you how step by step to make this. So to make this gift box, I'm going to use 2 curling racks, and we'll need some hot glue, some zip ties. I'm going to need some ribbon and some lights and a little decoration and possibly some greenery. We'll see as we get there. So the first thing is to cut the tags off. And then with these little bumpy sides, that's going to be the inside of the box. So we're going to turn this and, being careful, we're going to bend it in half. It's coming. Just have to be careful with it. So there we have it, bent in half. Now I've got my other one also bent in half. So then we're going to put the 2 together. And I'm going to use zip ties and zip tie them together, and that's going to be our box. So I'm going to start zip tying the 2 at the top together all the way around. On the both corners. Then I'm going to turn it upside down and do the same thing for these 2 corners. Then I'm going to put one in the center here as well, here and here. And now we want to cut the zip ties off around here and turn our little zip tie end to the inside. On both sides, making sure that they're really tight. So there we have the start of our box. So now I have my string of lights, and I've got 25 on here on this strand. Now I'm going to start at the bottom, and I'm going to pull them all the way through at the bottom here. And I'm just going to give this a little twist at the bottom to hold it. Oops. to hold it on there. Then I'm going to go through to the top so that my lights are on the inside to begin with here. I'm going to pull that tight, and I'm going to bring this down to this corner on this side, and I'm going to bring the lights through the bottom there. And then I'm going to turn my box and bring it up to the middle here. And I'm going to bring that through again. Like so. And then I'm going to bring it down to this corner and bring it through again. Turning my box, bringing it up to this top middle piece here of the box, and then down to this end and bringing it through. Turning the box up to the middle and through and down to the bottom and through, and then up as far as it'll go again. And we'll just hook that around one of these little wires here. So now your whole box is covered on all sides with your string of lights. So now, as far as the battery box, I'm going to somehow get it pulled up here so I can fasten it to the inside of the box with the light switch to where you can reach it from the underside, from under here. So once I get that part figured out, I'll show you what I've done. So where I started at the bottom with the battery box, I'm now going to take it through the very bottom of this one. So it's right across from where I started. And then I'm just going to come all the way up the top, right to the very top, and I'm going to run it through there. So now it's back on the inside again. And all I'm going to do is make sure that the switch is on the side where it can be reached from underneath. And I'm just going to take one of my zip ties, and I'm just going to zip tie this right to these wires here. And then that will be handy to turn it off and on from underneath, but it won't be flopping all over the place. So that's what I did with the battery box. And then I'll just cut that off and turn that to the inside as well. So there we are. So now we're ready to put our garland on. So what I'm going to do to attach my garland is I'm going to turn my box up with the open end on my right, and I'm going to attach with glue starting at the bottom, and I'm going to go all the way around my box. So we'll start by adding some glue down here and along the bottom. And we'll add our garland onto there. And we'll just go all the way around, turning our box and adding glue. And we'll go all the way around. So this amount of garland is 1 9-foot length that I bought at my Dollarama store here in Canada where I live. So I have another one and I'm going to continue. And I've just been going along and I've been hot gluing it to start. And then as I've just been hot gluing it every now and then just to keep it hold it on. And then when I got to the end of this one, I did add a zip tie just to hold that down. So this is 2 of the garlands. And now the garlands, for anybody that's in Canada, are 9 foot and they're $3.25 from the Dollarama store. So that's what I'm using. And so now I'm starting my third garland. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut lengths to go across on the top all the way across and just hot glue them on, and that will finish the box part for the wrapping. So I think instead of cutting the lengths to go back and forth, I've got my one strip across there, and now I'm just going to go back and forth across and hot glue it as I go back and forth. So I have the parcel wrapped now, and that's looking really pretty. So now I'm going to take some ribbon. I have this really pretty ribbon, and I'm going to attach it to my parcel, starting at the bottom, the open end. And I'm going to hot glue that down inside, and I'm going to bring it up nice and tight all the way around to the other side. Now before I do that though, I did want to mention that I did add a few zip ties up in here when I was doing the crisscross back and forth, just to hold it a little more secure than maybe what the hot glue would do for the top part there. But they don't show and they're white. So now we'll go on to the ribbon. So now I have the ribbon on, and underneath is still open. And now I'm going to make a bow for the top. So now for my bow, I have cut from my ribbon here 24 inches, and then I'm going to fold it in half and just hot glue the ends together. And then that should make an approximate 12-inch piece of ribbon here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for all 5 pieces that I've cut here. before I glue down my pieces of ribbon that I've made, I've got 4 little mini pine picks that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to glue those in, one on each corner of my parcel here before I put the ribbon on, before I put the bow back on. So I'm going to put these on the corners. And I'm just actually gluing it underneath that top piece of ribbon that went around the box in this direction, like so. So now I'm going to put my pieces of, and I'm only going to use 3, I've decided. So I'm going to put one like that, and one like that, and one like that. And then I'll kind of fluff them up. So I'll glue, put a little bit of glue there, and I'll glue my first one down. And I'll put a little bit of glue on top of that one. And I'll glue my next one down. Like so. And I think I'm even wondering if I might make my third one just a little bit shorter. So I'm going to cut it where I glued it together. Take my ruler here and see what I've got. 12. I think I'll make it about 8 inches. So this piece will be 16 inches instead of 24 for my third loop for my bow. And then I'll just set that one in on top there, and I'll glue that down. And then for the middle of my bow here, I have a pick that looks like this, and I'm just going to hot glue that down just in the center, like so. And I think that's going to look pretty. I guess we need to hot glue in between the ribbons here too. So they stay nice when they're fluffed. And then I have just a few little sprigs of this mistletoe. And I just cut off a few little pieces, and I'm just going to glue that on here as well, in by my little green leaves here. And there we have it. Now, I think that looks really pretty. And I'll go and put it somewhere where I can take a picture to show you what it looks like with the lights on inside. So here's what it looks like now that it is all complete. And I think that turned out really, really pretty. So here's my completed parcel, and it stands about 12 inches tall with my decorations on top, and about 10 inches wide. And I think that turned out really, really pretty. It actually looks nicer in person than what it shows on the camera here. So if this is something that you'd like to try, I hope you will. I maybe made it look a little more difficult than what it actually really is, because it's really not that difficult to do. So if you would like to give me a thumbs up for this project, please do. Share with your friends. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and thank you so much if you have. And always remember to be kind, and thanks so much for watching. Bye now.